What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Hoops Betting Hour. I am your host, the big man on campus. We are here on a Saturday, June 19th, 2021. Hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. Another day under the dial in the NBA, a Game 7. The two best words in sports tonight, Bucks, Nets. We'll figure out or try to pick, because this series has been a mess on who we think can get a win here. I'll be honest. In my however long, whatever, I've probably been betting the NBA over 20 years now. I was a kid when I started betting the NBA. I can't say I've had a tougher series in one series than in this one. Impossible. But we'll see if we can't snuff out a winner here tonight. Saturday, Blackjack Fletcher joins us. Blackjack, how you doing? Good to see you. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. You know, we've got some interesting games going on. We're getting into the nitty gritty now, right? We saw the Clippers eliminate the Jazz last night in what can only be described as a shocking game.
Pathetic.
So there's that, and now we've got this scenario going on with Milwaukee and Brooklyn. Your Sixers force a game 7. There's a lot going on in the world of the NBA, the NHL playoffs these days. So it's a good time to be alive, brother.
And we've got football on the horizon. A lot of people unhappy with the protocol stuff, including Cole Beasley, who had to pen a. Listen, Cole. So basically, you don't want to get vaccinated. Just tell everybody that. We don't need the long-winded iPhone note on why you don't want to do that. But obviously, that's in the news as well. College football will be here before we know it. Quick recap. Last night, Sixers get a win, and they needed the win to stave off elimination. They got it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a stroke of basketball genius that they're going to put in the Hall of Fame someday, but they found a way to win. And they did it behind a rookie. And Tobias Harris finally played well for them, 24 points in 39 minutes. But I guess it's survive and move to the next game, as they say, survive and advance. That sets up a game 7 tomorrow in Philadelphia. Look, at this point, if the Sixers lose, you'd be surprised. The game that I thought they would lose would have been last night. But there's a lot of pressure coming into game 7. Ben Simmons is he wasn't very good to be.
All him what he is, a bomb.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is he was somewhat of a shell of what he used to be when we thought he would be something. Now I don't even know what he is. Ben Simmons was not even on the floor over the last couple of minutes. And a rookie basically beat him out. A rookie is better on the court than he is at this point. Not great. The Hawks also haven't shot the ball well since game 1. Got to feel, if you're a Sixer fan, you got to hope that doesn't come to roost, because if they get going from 3, they just couldn't make any shots. The free throws were a mess last night for Atlanta. Game 7 tomorrow. The NBA needs it. They're going to get it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the Sixers are the better team here. I've thought it since game 1. I think their talent comes through in a game 7. But they've got to execute it. And as far as Ben Simmons goes, that guy needs to be somewhere else next year, because he is a train wreck right now, an absolute train wreck. He's not helping this team win games in any real tangible way. And anyone who argues anything other than that is living in a world of delusion.
If, let's just say the Sixers lose tomorrow, let's say they win tomorrow and lose in the conference finals, if the Sixers bring him back next year, which I think they're in a rock and a hard place with Benson, because I don't know what you do with him. What team is going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'll gladly take on," I guess, but it's not going to be easy. The other game last night was an embarrassing performance, and I would make this an even more embarrassing performance than the Sixers had in that game 5, because this was an elimination game. I mean, you're up 62-40 at the half. I think at one point the
26-point lead at one point.
Yeah, they were up 72-50 at one point. They were up 26, as you said. Just a disgraceful loss. And again, what makes it even more pathetic is that, look, I guess if Kawhi Leonard was playing, you're like, oh, okay. But it was like Terrence Mann and like Marcus Morris.
I don't know what to say. It happened so fast. too. It's like I was watching this game, and the third quarter, Utah's up by 20-something points. I'm like, all right, this game is over. And I took my eye off of it for, I mean, it couldn't have been more than a couple of minutes. And I came back, and I'm like, oh, it's a 3-point game. And then the next thing you know, the Clippers are up 6. And I'm like, how did this happen? Like, what happened here to have this occur this quickly? I mean, Utah just totally fell apart. And honestly, we're being honest here, it's for the second year in a row. Because they had a 3-1 series lead last year in the playoffs. They blew that. Now they blow a 2-0 series lead and a 26-point lead in an elimination game, as you said. It's time to start thinking about, maybe having Rudy Gobert down there making all this money and really not contributing offensively. Maybe that's not the right way to go here. I don't know. They're going to need to make some changes because this team has had 2 catastrophically bad playoff exits now.
Clippers 20 for 39 from 3, 51%. Not bad. Gonna have to shoot that way. Terrence Mann was incredible. Shout out to Terrence Mann, who, look, I think a lot of people, you didn't really want to go to someone like that, but he's answered the call, man. He's really, really good. Batum was good from 3. Reggie Jackson did his thing. I mean, Paul George played real well again. Paul George answering the call. Playoff P. Blackjack is making the call. Impressive stuff. I was wrong last night on my pick. I've not had a real good week, frankly. I had the Sixers, or I had the Hawks last night. Getting 3.5. They lose by 5. What are you gonna do? Cameron knew about it. Let's see what Jeff will be wrong about today. Yeah, well, Cameron, thanks for watching, as they say. Blackjack, how have you been doing? Hockey is in full effect. How's everything been going with you?
I can't cash a ticket to save my life right now. Easily the worst stretch of the season for me, which has come at just the perfect time. So that's been great. Played hundreds and hundreds of hockey games during the regular season, won 60% for the year, and now can't cash a ticket to save my life.
The realest thing you'll hear today is what I'm about to tell you. If you consume content in this business at any level, and the person you're consuming never loses,
they're liars.
I would run for the hills.
Yeah.
I would go way the hell away. Because there's a reason for that. They're not telling you why.
Listen, there's no point in hiding from it. Anyone who gambles on a regular basis knows you're going to go through periods where you can't win a game, and you're going to go through periods where everything you touch cashes. And, I'm not going to sit here and BS you. I am ice cold at hockey right now. I don't know. Eventually it'll turn around, but right now, probably want to take this play tonight and fade it.
Just got to keep going, man. I mean, it's part of it. You have highs and lows in life, man. But you know what? You know what shines through? Consistency. And I'll tell you what, Cameron, I've been here for over a decade doing this, so it's all good. Thanks for watching. All right, let's go. Let's get into this here. We've got one game on the card. What time does this game start? 8:40, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a prime time game. Nets and Bucks. Nets piecemealing things together. That's been a lot of these playoffs. Teams are piecemealing what they have together. They are a small favorite here, -1.5. Total is 216.5. We've talked about this on this show. There's a stark road-home discrepancy for the Milwaukee Bucks. You look at it at home this year, 31-10 straight up. On the road, 22-19, 16-24 against the spread. So this team has very much struggled away from home. And this series has been all about consistency for the Bucks. One thing has been clear. They cannot make shots. They've not made any shots. They've not made any threes. This is one of the worst shooting performances from 3 over the course of a series you'll see. I mean, this has been downright hideous from the Milwaukee Bucks. And the old adage is, well, they'll get it figured out. They haven't. They've been awful. You look at the pace in this series, it's been very slow. One night Kevin Durant looks great, the other night he doesn't. And I think Giannis Antetokounmpo took a page and said, you know what? I'm going to guard him tonight. I'm going to try to get something here. I'm going to try to defend him. And he did a better job. Harden back. He looks to be healthy, but he's not really contributed a whole lot.
Nope.
And the rest of this cast of characters you do not want in the guts of a game. Jeff Green, by the way, had 27 in Game 5, but
That's
in
not
Game 6, yeah, that didn't help. Joe Harris, where the hell's this guy been? Landry Shamet, Bruce Brown, Chris Chiozza, all these guys, nothing. You've got nothing from them. When you look at the Bucks, I think they've missed Dante DiVincenzo, surprisingly enough. But one thing has been clear. They're always going to get something out of a Antetokounmpo. Generally, you're going to get something very good out of Middleton. And I thought Drew Holiday played pretty good the other night. But it's been a series of guys that, outside of the top one or two guys, you just have not gotten much out of the rest of these groups. There's constantly quarters in this series where teams can't even get to 20 points. This has been a low-scoring series. I took the over the other night. I wasn't even close. It was another loser I had. Again, I have not gotten one game right in the series. So probably today, I'm here every day. I'm probably not the guy you want to put forth an opinion on this series. So I'll start with you, Blackjack. What do you think about this game, and what do you think goes around?
I think the best play in this game is the under.
Agreed.
For every reason you just laid out, and also Game 7s just tend to be under games, right? Like this is the way these things tend to go. Teams are a little tighter. They're a little more defensive oriented. I think you see Game 7s go under a lot. So I think that is the best play here. I am on Milwaukee here. And I say that somewhat reluctantly, but the reality is I don't buy this Brooklyn team in crunch time. I just don't. Kevin Durant is going to have to carry them there by himself because Kyrie Irving isn't there, and James Harden, we all know pretty well how James Harden does in clutch situations. Not necessarily the guy you want to rely on. So I look at Milwaukee and I say to myself, all right, Milwaukee, if I'm the Bucks, I'm trying to turn this into that slugfest game that they had here, right, in Game 3. That's what I want tonight. I want Giannis on Durant. I don't even care if Giannis doesn't attempt a three tonight. Guard Durant, make him work nonstop. Chris Middleton's the guy that if I'm the Bucks, I'm looking at Chris Middleton to carry the offensive load tonight because I want Giannis working his ass off on defense. I want him on Durant like glue tonight. I don't want Kevin Durant getting an uncontested shot without Giannis's long arms in his face. I think the Bucks can do it. I'm just not a believer in this Brooklyn team, Jeff. I'm just not. You're not going to find a series the rest of the way where I'm going to pick them, and it starts tonight. I'll take the Bucks. I think the better play is the under, though.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I think the Bucks are the play as well. This is a really tough game. You're taking Giannis against Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, in that matchup, I'll take Kevin Durant, but I think you're right. I mean, the long arms, the length, just if Giannis can give you 25 and do a great job on Kevin Durant, I think you're going to have a great shot at winning this game. This total is fascinating just because you look at in Game 7s, really since the beginning of the 2000s. There's some databases that go all the way back. Now, again, I'm not one to ever really bring up totals that far back, but it is interesting to know that in Game 7s, really, since that time, Game 7 unders are 36 and 22. At 62% to the under in Game 7s in the playoffs, which is pretty damn good. You take that up to even later in the playoffs at round 2 or greater, 76% of the 29 games since that point have gone under the number. So Game 7's generally very slow, very sloggy. Every possession matters. From the looks, this game is going to be close. And you look at just the discrepancy where Game 1 was, Blackjack. Game 1's total, 239.5. You look at Game 7's total, 216.5. That's 23 points difference.
Big drop.
Yeah, is a huge, huge drop. Again, though, the concern you have with Milwaukee is the continued problems on the road. But again, this is such a big game. This is such an important game. I think you a lot of the time just throw out things. I'll be real with you. I don't think it's really a comparison. I trust, I guess, the supporting cast that Milwaukee have over Brooklyn's, though.
I do too.
it's not ideal. I mean, PJ Tucker gives you nothing offensively. Connaughton has been a nothing. He's played 22 minutes the other night, gave you nothing. Bryn Forbes, 11 minutes, gave you 2 points. They have just very little coming off the bench, very little. They need to hope someone gets going. You need to get 15 out of Brooke Lopez or 13 out of Connaughton. They need to get a Tyrese Maxey performance out of Connaughton or Bryn Forbes, and
That's right.
I have to hope they can hit some threes because it has been hard to watch. But I guess that's something to take home. They won 104-89 the other night, won by 15, and from three they were just dreadful the whole series. So the fact that it's Game 7 and this is where they are, they've got to feel pretty good about that. So you're going to go with Milwaukee. Again, you're going to lean on Milwaukee to win, but you think the best play is the under. I have to agree with both.
Yeah, I mean, I think the under, you've explained it now multiple times. And there's every reason in the world, both trend-wise and watching these games, to think that this game goes under. I mean, I just think that Milwaukee knows they're going to have to D up tonight. They're going to have to play hard defense tonight. They are going to have to make Brooklyn work. The Bucks don't win this game 134-130, okay? They win this game 104-100. Like, that's how they win this game. So I think Milwaukee knows that, and I think they've got to come out here looking to be aggressive defensively from the beginning.
I don't believe the Nets have lost at home in the playoffs this year. I believe so. So yeah, it's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a great game. Last game, Milwaukee 7 for 33 from the 3-point line. I mean, that's hard to do.
Do better than that, right? They got to do better than that.
Yeah. I'm gonna lean on under 216.5. I'll agree with you here. I think this is like first to 105 wins. I think it's gonna be a tough, ugly, gritty series. Gerald Martinez says Durant is the most clutch guy in the sport. I don't know about that. On the court, yes. As far as on the sport, no. I think Stephen Curry would be the most clutch guy, right? I mean, I don't know if there's anyone I'd rather have.
I think that. Well, I mean, Damian Lillard could be on that list.
Yeah, that's him. True, that's him as well. All right, let's lean on that. Real quick, props. I don't have too many. Obviously, you have to figure whoever wins. I mean, Giannis is up at 33.5. That's high, man. It's going to take a lot of energy to guard Durant, but I think
Middleton's your guy, not Giannis.
Yeah. Middleton. If you want to take a flyer, Middleton 25.5 minus 110. Not bad.
There.
If you think you get to 30, maybe over 29.5 at plus 220. I think you're going to need someone like. I mean, I don't know if you can find anything, but like Bryn Forbes or somebody like that. Somebody like that's going to have to give them something, at least I think. So maybe Joe Harris, maybe he gets hot. I don't know. It's not ideal, though. Game 7 should be great. Saturday night, only game on the card. Real quick, Blackjack, Chris Paul. There's still no legitimate idea on whether Chris Paul is playing. The NBA should be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed.
I'm going to tell you this, and they obviously won't do it, and I'm being somewhat tongue-in-cheek when I say it. If the NBA does not allow Chris Paul to play in Game 1 tomorrow, the Phoenix Suns should boycott the game. And I know they won't, and I understand why they won't, because you can't do it. It's conference finals game. But I would be so infuriated if I were the Phoenix Suns and you're going to tell me in Game 1 of the conference finals my best player is not going to play for some BS reason when he's vaccinated, okay, and nobody's tested positive. What are we talking about? LeBron did this. LeBron didn't miss a game. LeBron was on video breaking protocol.
Well, okay. The difference between the two things is, according to reports, Chris Paul has the virus. LeBron James didn't. So
he's vaccinated, man. I don't know.
No,
I mean, like, you can't play this game without him.
Yeah, listen. The thing about the virus that I don't understand is there's a lot of things we don't know. According to a Dr. Cardona, he's at the Cleveland Clinic, which if you know anything about the Cleveland Clinic, very esteemed medical people. He says there is an extremely low rate of transmitting COVID-19 from one person to another. But I guess due to league pressure, you're just going to keep him out anyway. I don't know. Listen, I think 5 points is a lot. If Chris Paul doesn't play, they're 5-point favorites here. Chris Paul doesn't play, I think the Clippers maybe just ride the hot hand here with the Clippers. That's a lot of points.
With you. If Paul's not in this game, I'd be on the Clippers in game one. But
I mean, how does he play here? I don't think at this late hour. I feel like we should know that by now.
You would think so, but they haven't made an announcement yet, so I think you just have to wait.
The NBA should not be testing for this. It shouldn't be happening. All right, Blackjack, great stuff. We're going to both lean on the under. It's not ideal. This is a very tough game. Neither of us has been particularly good recently. Blackjack, we have a hockey game tonight. Is that true? Am I wrong?
We do. I'm on the Islanders on the money line. I think that this series, when we came to New York for this series, I thought we would leave New York with this series 2-2. I wasn't sure how we'd get there. The Lightning won game 3, which made the Islanders an automatic bet for me in game 4. I just think these two teams are going to play a very long series here. And also, the Islanders lost 2-1 in game 3, but they really got the kind of game that they want. Like, they have been able to set the tempo in these games, which is what the Islanders want to do. So I think they'll do it again tonight, and I would lean to the Islanders as a home dog.
Matthew Barzal scores tonight, plus 260. 2 goals in 3 games. I think he gets one tonight. Yeah, you're wearing a Lightning hat. Any thought? Are you just a Lightning? You just like listen. By the way, I wear a lot of shirts that like I'm not necessarily I'm not an Old Miss fan, but I just like the color of the shirt.
I mean, I live in a suburb of Tampa in the metro area, so I mean, sure, I'd like to see them be successful, but at the end of the day, that doesn't impact handicapping.
Yes, we have to stop with that myth. Please stop saying that if you're a fan of sports betting. Just because someone likes a team does not mean they have to bet on them. Like that is a really rough
right.
Take.
I'm literally wearing a hat and betting the Islanders tonight.
Yeah.
So
do people actually do that though? Like if you're a Jazz fan, you can only bet on the Jazz. You can't bet against them. Like is that actually happening? I always found that interesting. Follow Blackjack on Twitter.
I guess. Some people.
Right. At Blackjack Fletcher, you'll find him. Good follow, always putting out stuff. He's got a website that he's working on called Better Than Vegas. And I want to tell people to go check that out because it's, I think, something for people that if you're looking to get into the business, you're looking to get into the game, you're looking to get noticed by people, it's for you. It allows you to post videos of what plays you're on, to keep track of what you're on, and to find a community where there are people that are doing that as well. So I would urge you to check it out. There's not really something doing that. Like if you came to me and said, hey, Jeff, I want to share my picks on the show today. It's like, well, we don't really do that. So Blackjack, just a few more thoughts about that and what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you want to share your picks? Go to betterthanvegas.com. You'll be on the same platform as myself and a lot of high profiles, and you'll get a chance to be on that level. So betterthanvegas.com, head on over there and post your picks. Betterthanvegas.com. It's the place to be.
Yeah, go check that out. Again, if you're looking to share your thoughts, go do it. All right, we're wrapping this thing up. We only have one game, so we don't have to belittle it much longer. Beleaguer it much longer. I'm sorry. If you enjoy the Mafia, you enjoy mob history, go check out Blackjack and I on the Sit Down. It's out every Wednesday. You can find that podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Pods, wherever you get your podcasts. Please go listen. We are killing it right now with that show. It is only going to get bigger. I've got so many ideas for it. We just did a show on Al Capone. It's a great show. We got a good show next week on a guy called Anthony Casso. They called him the gas pipe. He's probably the biggest lunatic in the history of the mob. He's killed more people than really virtually anyone. I think maybe only Greg Scarpa probably killed more than Anthony Casso. Bad people. Go check those shows out. All the shows we've done, just terrific. Blackjack, good stuff as always. Great to see you. We'll check you out next week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, Blackjack, we'll let you jump off. I want to quickly, before we go, wrap up with Euro. You could jump off, Blackjack. We'll wrap this up. See you later, buddy. I want to wrap up the show with Just some thoughts on what we've seen, Euro Cup. I haven't shared a ton of plays because I haven't really loved a lot of these cards. There's a lot of tough matchups. At least you look at today, France really struggled with Hungary. So I just really haven't been enthralled by what we've seen. Italy plays tomorrow. I know Portugal's up 1-0 against Germany, which Germany continue to struggle. Question late comes, what do you think Spain does for a follow-up? Because they were hard to watch in their first game. They were just really, really, really ugly. But they found some success. And you have to figure, we'll hope that they could find more success tonight. Poland is not good. Poland is not good defensively. Poland continues over the years to get a lot of respect, even though they don't really necessarily deserve it. But Spain should have beat Sweden. And I don't really know what else to say there. They're better than Sweden. But the continued problem for Spain up front is they just don't have a ton of goal scorers. I don't really know where you go here if you're Spain. Who do you throw out there to score goals? Your best player is Alonso up front. Not ideal. Not ideal. So when you're looking at Poland, are they a bit overrated? Yeah, but they're, I think, pretty tough defensively. They have the best goal scorer on the pitch. It's not even a question. Lewandowski's way better than I think most in the world. You look at Poland in their first game, I don't know, bit underperforming, had a red card in the 62nd minute, tied the game up, but the penalty hurt them. But I like what Poland has. Glick is a great defender. I like their goalkeeper, Szczesny. Pretty good midfield. Zielinski and Lewandowski up front. I might take a little shot here with Poland. I think Spain is not great. So I'm going to lean on that maybe. All right, let's jump out of here. I'm definitely struggling in the NBA. Hopefully we can get a winner tonight with that under. But other than that, we continue to keep moving forward. And we're here all the way through the NBA Finals. I'm the big man on campus. As always, thanks to Blackjack Fletcher for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Spread Astaire will join us Father's Day here on the show. All you fathers out there, shout out to you. All right, we'll be here Sunday. Thanks for watching here on Pickswise, presented by FanDuel.